Hey everybody, it's Nick Inman, founder of VolumeProfileTrader.com on Wednesday, December 5th, and this video update, actually I have a lot of names that I think you're going to want to stay tuned into. I think the market's just presenting a great opportunity here in the coming weeks, months, probably really focusing on that fiscal cliff, but there are a lot of names here that look poised to make big moves, and I don't want you to take them off your radar. I've gone through them. I went through the S&P 100 and the NASDAQ 100 to get these names. But what I'm looking at here is the S&P, holding the point of control for the year. I don't really care about that as much as, as more and more time goes by, you're going to see shifts in names, and, it could all go away with the fiscal cliff, all of this. But overall, the market looks... For what's going on, the market's holding up pretty well, and I think that's the point that needs to be made. So really, I want to get into these names right away and just go into them. Let's figure out what's going on, and let's look at the potential opportunities that they're presenting. And there's probably 10 names here on my list that are really pointing out to me. I think you can make money on some of them, this week. I think you can make some money on them, in the coming weeks. So my point is to keep them on your radar, and let's, figure out how to trade these things. So first things first, I need to talk about Apple. This thing's just fallen off. I'm completely flat of Apple. I sold my shares, the rest of what I had today. I know it was north of 550. I don't know the exact price, but this is, 520 is my price to the downside for now, and I'm not even going to look at it on a closer chart. Freeport, another name, just got slammed today, down 16%. Over 150 million shares traded today, which is about 10 times average. Absolutely unbelievable. Hey, for a trade, you let this thing do what it does over the next few days, but you're back at the lower end of this range. This is such a big flush out. So many people got stopped out or sold. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some type of push, even up towards 35 or so. And whether that's worth the trade to you, I don't know. But I think it's worth keeping on your radar. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. Nike, what I see here, I see the 200-day. Whether it was relevant or not, I'm not really sure. $100, I think that's your psychological level. But what I see here is a stock that's consolidating above the point of control. We're getting a 50-day that's starting to slope up slowly but surely. 20-day that is sloping up. I think the point is here you have a shot to trade towards 100, 97.5 by 100 call spread, something along those lines. Starbucks, they announced that they're going to open 1,500 new stores in the U.S., I believe. This is a name that I'm slowly building on, and I think that's the key, is I'm slowly doing it. I'm not trying to build a full position necessarily this week or this month, because I see this longer term consolidation pattern, this triangle, and I'm just going to let it do what it has to do, but I'm involved knowing that I can always add on to the position. Texas Instruments, this is now consolidating above its point of control for the year. It's above the 200. It's above all the moving averages. Basically, what I'd be looking for is a trade up towards 31. We'll call it the value area high for the year at 31.90. That's what I'm kind of looking for. So you continue to watch this. We're at the top end of the range here, and you can't neglect that. Arguably the bottom end of this range is $29 or so. But just keep this on your radar. If we start to move above 30 with volume, this is probably something that you want to be involved in. Maybe buy the 31 by 32 call spread for a little bit of speculation. All right, for some banks, Bank of America breaking higher, breaking new highs. Let's take note of that, and then let's go into a few other names. JP Morgan, full disclosure, I'm long this name. Members getting my text message alerts. I recommend this a couple days ago. We're right around a break even on this, which isn't a big deal. We have downside protection. If Bank of America is breaking higher, I'm looking for JP Morgan to make a move. try and test 43, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I want you to keep it on your radar, which kind of brings me into Morgan Stanley, which is really, and I'm looking more noticeably at the Bollinger Bands, and what we're seeing here is volatility getting absolutely crushed on Morgan Stanley. We're at the point of control for the year. Keep this on your radar. Put it on your watch list. I don't care what you have to do. Put an alert at 1725. Put an alert at 1625. Therefore, if it breaks one of the levels, it's probably a breakout candidate just because of how tight the Bollinger Bands are going to be. If it breaks 1725 on the upside, my target would be 1850 for your first target, and we'll kind of wait for there. But I wouldn't be surprised, considering it's the point of control for the year, to see a move higher on more, not a move higher necessarily, but a meaningful move on a name like Morgan Stanley. All right, U.S. Steel. This is a name I've been watching for a while now, keeping it on my radar. What we have is, arguably higher lows here, and then we have lower highs. This is coming to an apex. We're sitting above the point of control. We're sitting above the 20-day, the 50-day. If you want to take a shot at this now, that's fine. I would keep a stop below the 50-day, which is $21, and then kind of go from there. But this would be a breakout candidate, or at least $23.75-ish. But I would really be looking for mid-20s, and then ultimately $28 if you can get it there. I just want to point it out. Keep it on your watch list. That's the point. And if you want to buy a tenth of a position, literally go out and buy a tenth of a position to get involved. Therefore, it's easier to increase your position if you need to. Caterpillar, similar story here. This is a potential name that really could get going here, and I want you to be a part of it if it does. So what I'm looking at, and I'm going to bring over, bear with me one second. Alright, I'm going to bring over, because I can't find the ticker on Thinkorswim, excuse me. But Shanghai Composite, monster reversal today, or I should say yesterday. And it's looking like this thing wants to go up and test higher levels. Now I see that it's had moves like this in the past, and they were short-lived, but with time, and this is the main thing, with time, you're going to eventually see a bottom in a name like, Shanghai, and it's going to give you an opportunity to really, take advantage of a move like Cap. But this name was up almost 3% in one day, so I want you to keep your eye on that. Caterpillar, point of control for the year. Pretty much every major stock is trading at that level, which shows you that I'm preaching to you right now. A huge market move is about to happen, and it's going to be extremely profitable if you're on the right side of this trade. So I want to keep these on your watch list. You don't necessarily have to go and dive in. That's probably not the best trade, but for names to watch for potential outperformance, I'm giving you pearls here. All right, another squeeze here. This isn't Cerner. This is in the healthcare space, NASDAQ 100. But I mean, this is if any of the names look poised to make a move, this is probably it. And the reason why is because you have Bollinger Band squeezing. You're above the 200, the 50. The point of control is right at these levels, and you've been in a consolidation pattern for a year now, and it's going to break out eventually. And you want to be a part of this if it does. It's not the fastest mover, but honestly, I think right here, right now, you buy 78.54, and for now, you place a stop below. Obviously, you're going to be buying small if you're doing this. You're placing your stop right below 75. There's probably a good chance that in the near term, you're going to see around $81. and then look for 52-week highs on this. And it's just the way it is. These Bollinger Bands are what looks so promising to me. As far as the fundamentals, I don't know too much about this company, so full disclosure there. But keep an eye on this. The Bollinger Bands, all above the moving averages. That's what you want to see, and I think it's important that you keep it on your radar. All right, did I cover Texas Instruments? Yeah, I did. All right, DirecTV, similar situation here. It's definitely topped out at $55, but it has pulled back to the point of control for the year, to the 200-day moving average, 50-day sloping down. But I see these Bollinger Bands tightening up. That's letting you know that a big move is going to happen soon, and you want to be on the right side of that. So keep this on your radar. You're getting pretty good volume here, despite the fact that the market's been trading on relatively light volume. So just keep that in mind. And then the last one, I think this is actionable tomorrow, actually. Microsoft. If you want to take a shot at this, here's your little double bottom here, and here's your trading range. So what I would be looking at is you have potential resistance at the 20-day. There is that possibility, but you place your stop below these lows, and you play for a move up towards 27.75. Gap close is 28.25. That's going to be about where the 50-day is, and in the next couple, maybe the next week or so. So keep that in mind. But this looks like the most actionable trade as far as right here, right now. So overall, the S&P is holding its own. I can't knock it too much, but there isn't really a reason for it to move right now, and that's also pretty important. Another thing to note is the volatility index, and what we're seeing here is the volatility index slammed off of its 50-day, the 50% retracement off of last month. We pierced it a little bit, but today we slammed below it. Now we're back in that zone. What is that zone? Let me delete these really quick. Let's show you. We had the 50% retracement from last month, around 1708. All right, we pierced above that for a couple of hours. Today we traded below that. Then I'm going to go down to, you can see all these 50% retracements for the last 4 months or so are all in a cluster. I'm going to take the lowest one, and I'm going to call this a range. From 1625 up to 1708. As long as the VIX is in between that, you're in no man's territory, but you're in the potential for a move. So we drop below 1625, I'd be looking down towards 15. And if we get above, 1750, I would be looking towards 1875. And this matters. 1625, these lows here, this could cause for a market sell-off. This could cause for the sellers to come into the market, buyers of volatility to step in. And this is what you want to be aware of, to take your trading to the next level. So anyways, I hope you got a few good trading ideas. Nothing is necessarily set in stone right now. The Freeport idea, Microsoft, even U.S. Steel, those all look pretty solid for a trade, in the next coming days. Microsoft especially, probably Freeport too. But other than that, I think you're on a wait pattern. But you want to keep these on your radar. Just make a watch list and then set price alerts. Do what you have to do, because this will, and I'm pounding the table here, this will make you money if you allow it to. So just be patient. You will get your opportunities. If you want to be a part of what we're doing at Volume Profile Trader, try it out. There's nothing wrong with trying it out. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's going to give you a broader picture of what I'm looking at. I think there's a lot of really good tools that you can use that are at your disposal. So anyways, take care, have a great one, and I'll talk to you next time.